alive and alert on the north side of the dirt. It is your man D Real coming at you with another Be Real with D Real, where edutainment is what I do. Okay. I am going to try to be diplomatic about what I am going to discuss. I don't want to be accusatory. I don't want to be disrespectful, but I do want to clarify facts. I do want to clarify what I'm seeing, because you can hear one thing, but if words and actions don't line up, or the clarity of said words and actions are still kind of ambiguous, as Ricky Ricardo used to say back in the day, Lucy, you got some splaining to do. And this is no different. And before I get off into, can you tell my voice is kind of wavering, because I really and truly do not want to say the wrong thing, but I got to tell the truth. Truth is what it is. Truth, tell the truth, shame the devil. That's what I was always told. But before I get off into that, man, I need y'all to do the usual. Comment, like, subscribe, and share to the page, so that when you get new alerts like this one right here, you get first crack at it. If you're digging what a brother's shoveling, put some dirt in my bucket. Comment, like, subscribe, and share the page. Speaking of sharing, I want to share a little clip with you real quick. And y'all might recognize this cat. I don't want to be all dramatic with it. I'm just doing it.
Leave. Thank you so much, Eman. You used Avengers today. Listen. I'm looking for a way to make that. I've been looking for artists. I've been looking like, yes. We need shirts and merch. Yes, I'm curious. Any chance you might do a watch party for any of those Phase 5 or 6 movies? I am going to do a watch party for Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. That is something that I'm going to do. I was very hesitant on doing it at first, because but after further review, I am going to do one for Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, mainly because and I've been teasing this, and I'm gonna try and get this announcement out on a separate video. I was gonna announce it today, but there's still some things I want to work out to make sure it's as foolproof as possible. But I'm gonna drop that in a separate video. There's a reason why I'm doing a watch party for Wakanda Forever, even though I'm strongly for Recast T'Challa, right? I'm doing something that that's in line with what I think Chadwick would have wanted, what I think is the right thing to do also when it comes to these type of films. So I'm gonna keep my same energy, even though it might not be somebody else's, but I'll announce all of that stuff coming up. I'm just waiting on I'm waiting on my proofreaders, to help me out, because there are a lot of times, like when I came up with the petition, it took me a long time to make sure every line, every word, every link, everything was top notch. I told y'all that petition is bulletproof. I want this next thing that I'm about to do to also be bulletproof. So yeah, I'm working on that, and that is also going to be tied to the reason why I'm doing a watch party for that. But as for Phase 5 and other things, probably the big Avengers movies. Like, I'll probably do watch parties for the big ones. But anyway, that's just me. Anyway,
okay. Let's unpack. For those of you that don't know who that was in that clip, I'd be shocked if you didn't. But for the benefit of those that aren't like super duper YouTubers and in our universe, That was Emmanuel No Set. He is a film critic. So that means he reviews movies. Bear that in mind as I speak. And he is the person who started the Recast T'Challa petition. Been going strong for roughly about 2 years. Whoa. Okay, so this petition has been going roughly for about 2 years. The entire time this petition is going, Eman, along with dozens of other YouTube content providers, have been speaking out, have been very vocal, some more vocal than others, about everything going on that's inconsistent with the production of Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Multiple scripts, setbacks in shooting, accidents with stars not wanting to be on the set and act right because of COVID procedures, all kinds of things. The executives and producers at this movie being quoted as saying one thing, but then turning around and saying things that are 100% contradictory or controversial to what they said previously. So the vibe and the energy that we weren't getting any vibe or energy from Marvel Studios, because this petition had been out for like almost a year, and there was no public acknowledgement, at least to my limited cataloging skills. I know Marvel did not respond in any real way or form to the Recast T'Challa petition and the people talking about the Recast T'Challa petition, other than to say things like, we are not recasting T'Challa. They've been saying we are not recasting T'Challa before the petition came. But they continued saying it after the petition was out. Executive producer Nate Moore said it in a very popular video that has been making the rounds with all content providers. But what I'm getting at, I don't want to, go back and forth about, Nate, Ryan, and Kevin, because they've done enough that we don't have to question where their heads are at. So for me, it's more about where Eman's head is at. So, on God, the first time that I found out about the Recast T'Challa petition and who was behind it and what his job was, what his day job is, very words, on God, on my children, this could prove problematic later on down the road. Okay, that was 2 years ago. Okay, now, mind you, he has been equally consistent at pointing out flaws in what's going on with the film, and how that filming could incorporate T'Challa into it without disturbing the integrity of what they currently have. Then, on the other hand, if you look at his content, if you look at his material, you can see that he's super duper pro Marvel. Okay. In fact, I think there's image somewhere around him taking a picture with Derek Boseman, and he's got on a TVA shirt. Okay, that's neither here nor there, but I'm just saying, if I knew Derek Boseman was going to be in the building and there was a chance of me being able to take a picture with him, I'd probably, on the rocks and BP gear. But that's neither here nor there either. I gotta stay on point. Gotta stay focused. Okay, so bear in mind, Eman has thousands and thousands of subs. Thousands of people subscribe to him. So that means there's thousands of people who are down with this. I only got a couple hundred. I tell you right now, I ain't no big wig. I make a lot of noise, but it ain't a lot of people messing with me. I'm building my stuff organically. What can I say? There's ways I can increase that, but between me, being at the radio station and doing what I do for my day job, it's gonna be an organic process. But I don't think Eman, and I'm just talking directly to Eman. He probably won't watch this, but I'm just talking directly to him. Eman, here's the thing. Words and actions should line up, or words should be clear. Actions should be clear. It shouldn't be ambiguous. I shouldn't have to wonder what your goals are, what your machinations are, what, when we say things like, oh, I got and these are things that have been said to me by you. Oh, we got some things coming down the line. I mean, and there was even a point where we all got together, content providers. We had our little secret covert cloak and dagger meeting. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, okay. And I'll just be honest, Eman, probably, in my opinion, I don't think he's the leader we needed as far as this movement. And I know the leadership, that's deference, that's de facto, you know what I'm saying? Because of his actions and his visibility, he was, quote unquote, the leader of, quote unquote, the movement. Okay? Got no problems with that. You did the petition, you did the legwork, you laid everything out, rock with it. All I ask is, if you're going to be in a leader position or you're going to accept a leader position, I would ask that you lead. Okay? Telling people every time they say, what we gonna do? Okay, let's wait and see what Marvel's gonna do. Let's wait. And that's what we got in this meeting. Let's wait and see what Marvel's gonna do. He's got inside tracks. So we figure he knows something that we don't. And it's almost as if keeping us at arm's length about what's really going on, he seemed to enjoy. But that's just me. I mean, I want to be in charge. I want to run things. So I can't tell you everything I know. I can tell you everything I want you to know. You see what I'm saying? But I'm not going to 100% give you information. And so for a lot of us, we won't come out and say it. A lot of folks won't admit it. And I promise to God, Eman, I'm not trying to run you down. I'm just trying to point out facts. A lot of people are like, why is he hesitating? Because there were moments, when Marvel was on the ropes, and that would have been the perfect time to jump on him. We should wait. That was always wait was always the plan. If I'm wrong, Eman, please correct me. But wait was always the plan. Hurry up and wait. Hurry up and wait. Hurry up and wait. I've done that in the military. I understand what hurry up and wait means. Hurry up and wait means we're going to make a move when we're ready to, or we don't gotta move. Okay? And if you're wanting people to react to the non-recast the way you are, and what I mean by that, you're saying you think the character should be recast. You're saying you're pro-recast. You put out a petition. And this is what I want people to understand, because I'm really not going in on the man. Petition. What is a petition? Do you understand what a petition is? Okay, and let me make this clear. A petition is not a demand. It is a request. A petition is a request to ask that something be changed. But when people say, no, we ain't changing it, or when people say, we're going to ignore you, what is the next move from there? Where do we move forward from here? We just sit, and there were no clear, quote unquote, marching orders. Okay, so when there is no authority being put into what people are doing, I mean, granted, he gave guidelines about what he thinks people should say and what he thinks people shouldn't say, and I heard all of that. But from all of this inactivity, people, and when I say people, I mean content providers, are starting or were starting to lose faith in you. You know, you're giving this hope. Your perspective is, we're going to get this character recast. What if they say no, Eman? We're going to ask again. What if they say no again, Eman? We're going to ask again. And clearly in the petition, I know it says we ain't looking for an immediate recast, but we're looking for something. So at the point where it looked as if, okay, Eman's just out here for photo shoots. Eman's just out here, you know, making noise. What real change is being made? What inroad? Where are we at? That's what a lot of content providers, a lot of people who are down for T'Challa to be recast wanted to know. I'm not saying that that was everybody. There are a lot of people who feel the exact same way you feel, Eman. There are a lot of people who have 150% faith in what you're doing. There are a lot of people who do not question it. That is why the movement started to split into factions. Well, if this is the guy that's supposed to be leading us, and he ain't leading us, you know, because he's too busy reviewing movies, not to say that he shouldn't do that, because that is his job. He's a movie reviewer. So we can't come down on him for doing his job. We can't come down on him for trying to feed his family. But whether you were foisted or stepped into the leadership position, you were there. And it's your responsibility to either say, this is what we're doing, stick to the plan, or this is too much for me. I can't lead this. I'm gonna step back because I need to review movies. Wouldn't have been no shame in it. Wouldn't have nobody said anything. The disconnect, the problem comes is when you're saying we're all gung-ho. We're running for the finish line. We're gonna get this. Okay, whether we get a recast today, tomorrow, or in 10 years. I feel like we should have heard something. Who are we to want to hear something? People who have made all of this noise for 2 years. We want to hear something. Even if it's nothing but fuck you, go somewhere and sit down. We don't want to hear what you got to say. We want to hear that, so that we know what to do next moving forward. And because there's no, this is the plan, this is plan A, B, and C. It can't be laid out like that. I mean, in that meeting, Eman, you were the one that talked about strategizing. You were the one that said it's chess, not checkers. Okay, right now, it looks like we're in a very serious gambit. And me personally, I've already consigned myself to the reality that there is not going to be a recast anytime soon. Just say that. Say, I believe there ain't going to be no recast anytime soon. We're going to keep pushing, but as far as a recast, that's not happening. Okay, we knew that. We kind of knew that. We were aware that there wasn't going to be, they aren't recasting T'Challa for this movie. If they are, that'll be pretty impressive. And if you know that from having insider information, at least share it with the proponents that you know, like myself and others who are very vocal about this sort of thing, who are a little bit aggressive. Those that you have distanced yourself from to say they boycotting. We don't have nothing to do with that. Why are we boycotting? Okay, understand our position. We asking for change. We asking for change. We asking for change. We're a little more proactive than you are. Okay, we're asking for change. We ain't getting it. So if you, what's to stop Marvel from perpetually denying you? Nothing. It's their IP. It's their money. They can say and do whatever they want to do, regardless of what I do, regardless of what you do. So I'd rather feel like I'm doing something than being in a holding pattern, if that makes sense. And that's the gist of it. That holding pattern thing, a lot of people got tired of. A lot of content providers got tired of. And so you can see in your comments, they're starting to get sprinkled with folks, you know, that are saying things to you about questioning where you at with it. I know you couldn't care less. I mean, you could just delete the comments and be like, whatever, but you know they were there. But if the comment didn't affect you, don't worry about it. My thing is, how do you go from gung-ho, ready to tear stuff up, to let's do a watch party? I mean, not saying you can't, not saying that you shouldn't do a watch party, but I personally am trying to understand your rationale, man. Where does that come from? Where it's just like, okay, and now here's the thing. I know a lot of people are sitting here looking at me like, what is this Negro talking about? He don't got no receipts. Everything he's saying is just talk. So it's his opinion against Eman. Maybe. Okay. If you tell me something, I have no choice. Well, I do have a choice. I can trust you or I cannot trust you. But what I like to do is give people rope and let them do whatever it is they do, whether that be to do what you said you was going to do or do a 180. What do I mean? Okay, receipt time. Here's the deal. That's Eman, right? That's him. So I can't fabricate this. Okay, that first thing, I mean, if any of y'all was on Twitter and are familiar with the beef between Roland Martin and the Recast T'Challa movement, cool beans. But that's not what the focus of this is. Slide down here. The blue is me. The gray, of course, is Eman. There's my question right there. You see what I'm asking? You see what I'm asking? On July the 3rd, bear that in mind. July 3rd, when are we putting knees on necks? That was my question. When are we putting knees on necks? And what I meant by that is, when are we going to start putting pressure on Marvel Studios? When are we going to start stepping to them and saying, hey, y'all going to have to bring y'all A game because we ain't feeling what y'all doing with your D game? Eman's response, I'm going to dip over to another one where you can see that full text, right? This is where he is right here. Soon. LOL, this was a nice boost, but we waiting for Marvel to make their next move with the trailer. If they advertise Chadwick's death, gloves are coming off big time. Let me read that again. If they advertise Chadwick's death, gloves are coming off big time. My response, all right then. For you, I'll dial it back a bit, bro. I'm showing respect because that's the man who is the de facto leader of this movement. And he's asking me not to go at Roland Martin because we might need him later as an ally. Mental note, I ain't heard shit from Roland Martin since July about Recast T'Challa. He said he appreciates it. That's basically what that is. When the time is right, we'll definitely let loose. I might be jumping the gun. Maybe in Eman's eyes, the time will be right in 2 years. The time will be right in 5 years. The time will be right in 7 years. Maybe that was his rationale when he said, when the time is right, we'll definitely let loose. But I'm thinking, if you saying when the time is right, you talking about soon, because ain't that what he said up top? He said soon. Okay, so is soon 2 years, 5 years, or 7 years down the line? Not to rational people. Soon means it's a determinable amount of time. Note, he hasn't shared what that determinable amount of time is. Vague, ambiguous. Either he doesn't know or won't share. Think about this though. The fact that, and I was done right here. I was done. I'll write it in for you. I'll dial it back. And he decided to move forward and say some more stuff. I appreciate it, bro. Trust me, when the time is right, we'll definitely let loose. Still waiting for that time. Think about this though. The fact that we have the family on board is pressure already. I'm, again, getting a clear look at the next picture or the next text. Okay. The fact that we have the family on board is pressure already. The petition was small potatoes. So if the petition was small potatoes, that means there was something else coming after the petition. Still not saying what. We have the emotion and family on our side. When that trailer dropped, the emotion did a 180, didn't it? That's put Marvel in a tough position because now they can't just act like it's about them. We've had our knees on their necks from day one. And I said, okay. So if we're going to do something soon, you know, that would indicate. Now, bear in mind, that conversation was July 3rd, day before Independence Day. He said we was going to let loose on them if they did something with Chadwick's death. They did. You clearly see they did. Was his response something resounding? Was his response something that made folks stand up and take notice, like they stood up and took notice when people said, boycott, recast T'Challa, recast T'Challa, recast T'Challa? Crickets. Boycott. Ooh, fans planning to boycott Black Panther 2 Wakanda. Start talking. Start talking. You see what I'm saying? So this is what I'm saying. Between July and September, we went from knees on necks to watch parties. I'm not understanding. I hope that you will come forward and clarify and verify what you meant. Because I'm not trying to like humiliate or disrespect or something like that. But if you're going to lead, brother, you got to lead. And leading ain't waiting. Or if you want folks to wait, bro, you got to have a timetable. You got to have a plan. That's why I'm saying you should allow more people to strategize with you. You should allow more people to get together with you. I'm not trying to steal your shine. I'm not trying to take the spotlight off of you and put it on me. That's not my goal. The goal is to get T'Challa recast. Sometimes you got to break some eggs, man. You got to break some eggs. Some people aren't happy with that, but then it dawned on me. You are a film critic. You review movies. That is your job. In between July and now, you've had contact with Marvel Studios and somebody's told you something that has made you pivot and do a 180. At least that's how it looks. If that's not how it is, I welcome a rebuttal. I'm not trying to turn this into no Twitter beef. I'm not trying to turn this into no YouTube beef. That's not what I'm doing. I want to understand. I want answers. If you want to sit down and have a live and me and you chit chat, I would love to do that. And I would do it respectfully. I promise you. But I'm not going to be no punk about it. I'm going to be respectful. But what am I saying? He probably never even respond to me. I want to know. I want to understand. How do we go from knees on necks to watch parties? That's what I want to know. Help me understand that. Get me to where you at. I want to be where you're at, your level of understanding. Okay? Because I'm telling you, the way it looks, and it isn't just me, and it isn't just content providers, it's a lot of subscribers. You look very much like you're on the fence. I understand that. I've understood it from day one when I knew that you were a movie reviewer. There is no way a movie reviewer can petition for change in a movie vigorously, aggressively, and still be pro for that movie. I guess you're the exception, but I've never seen anything like this before. It's very contradictory. It's very confusing, at least to a lot of people. And because of these contradictory actions, a lot of people, you've left them confused. You've left a lot of people upset because they were rooting, cheering, hoping, okay, this gonna be the man. He gonna lead us to where we need to go. He gonna make things happen. He talking to people in Hollywood. He talking to people everywhere. He's the man that's gonna get things done. What? And answer me this. Was a watch party the ultimate goal? Because now you're giving money to that production. Maybe in your mind, if I give money and show them that I'm down to do this in a respectful way, they'll have a change of heart. When it comes to billion-dollar corporations, emotion is the last thing you need to be dealing with. That's just my thought process. I took longer than I needed to say what I needed to say, but I think I said everything I needed to say, and I hope that I said it in a respectful way. I also meant to say it in a concise and direct way. If I haven't been direct enough, Eman, please let me know. If I haven't been direct enough, y'all who rock with me, let me know. I mean, minus disrespect, I'm not going to be disrespectful. If he come back disrespectful, then we go disrespectful. But I don't feel like anything I've said today or anything I put on screen was disrespectful, okay? Because my thing is, if you was man enough to say it, you need to be man enough to own up to it. I would. That's just me, though. So, look here, y'all. I'm about to skedaddle. Tune in tomorrow for the Thursday live. I'm pretty sure this will be a talking point. But until then, y'all be good. Be good to each other.